Hi, today we're going to talk about contracts. Well, I know sometimes that's not the most interesting thing when we're dealing with buying a new home, but it's very important to real estate agents, and it really should be important to you. Now, you've probably heard that in the state of Georgia, I just heard it again here recently, that it is legal to write out a real estate contract on a napkin. Yes, you can say, I will buy this piece of property located at so-and-so for so much money, and it is a legally binding contract here in the state of Georgia. But let me ask you something. Do you really want to risk your hard-earned money on something that's written on a napkin? Well, most people, of course, would say no. So let's just do a little bit deeper dive. Here in the state of Georgia, you'll hear realtors throw around this term, the GAR forms. Well, the GAR just simply stands for the Georgia Association of Realtors. And these are the contracts that have been approved for us to be able to use. And in a sense, being a part of the local realtor association, we sort of pay for them. So they are carefully written contracts that literally a committee of experts pour over all the time to make sure that both buyers and sellers are protected as much as possible by the law. So you can see they're very important. A second thing that you need to know is generally, and I say generally, but generally they are updated every 6 months. So if you're working with a realtor, every 6 months, generally they get the most up-to-date real estate contracts that they really should be using. So you're going to say, well, what kinds of things could possibly come up? Well, who knew we were going to deal with COVID? So one of the things that they updated when COVID was going on at the very initial phase of COVID was some special things about doing contractual work during this time of COVID. Now, the third thing that I want to remind you is that generally your real estate agent, your realtor, goes to a class and studies those updates generally once a year. I know for me, generally the class is a 3-hour CEU class. It's something that we can get credit for, but we go over not just the contracts, because we don't have time for that. We go over just the updates, because it is important to us to make sure you're getting all the protection you should get. Well, so let me just ask you a simple question. Do you want a real estate contract written out on a napkin or something that's written out on a 7 or 8 page document? I'm Gerald Wessels. I'm the team leader with the Wessels Realty Team. I'm always here to help you with any questions you might have.